Good afternoon, everybody, from Sophia Gardens here today for the second game in the Vitality Blast League 2, where Glamorgan are hosting Derbyshire Falcons. And it's a double header today, so if you are in the vicinity, then please do come on down to some fabulous cricket with the sun is shining, food outlets and drinks are available, where the men take on Gloucestershire at 7 o'clock this evening. So both Glamorgan and Derbyshire on the back of their wins yesterday, where Glamorgan confidently beat Gloucestershire and Derbyshire beating Sussex Sharks. I'm joined today by Rosa Simkin. Rosa, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Kath?
Very good, thank you.
I mean, it was quite the performance for both teams yesterday. For Glamorgan, it was Lauren Parfitt who led an 184 for 6 total against Gloucestershire. She got 86 from 58, backed up by Daisy Jeans with 38. It was 2 wickets each for Jackson and Porter as they reduced Gloucestershire to 119 for 6 in their chase. For Derbyshire, it was a first win of the new professional era at the Co-op County Ground in Derby against Sussex. Fran Lonsdale with 31, the anchor in the chase of 114. And there were some impressive bowling performances too. It was 3 for 23 for Tennacoon and 4 for 11 for Andrews, who isn't involved today.
Excellent, and thank you so much. We're waiting for the players to come out. We've got some young flag bearers down there. The Welsh flag going to be waved proudly, so some young individuals waiting for Derbyshire to take the field. So toss news was Derbyshire Falcons won the toss and they have elected to bowl first, so we will expect out first on the back of yesterday the captain Lauren Parfitt and Daisy Jeans, who had a brilliant opening partnership yesterday.
We will indeed. We've got our umpiring team of Kirsty Blackham and Mel Juniper for today. And a lovely sunny day in Sophia Gardens. Don't let them tell you it only rains in Wales.
Definitely, and they're just reading through the squad. So there's our playing 11 on the image there for you. So that is the batting order for today for Glamorgan. So only a few changes from yesterday, Rosa.
There are indeed. Daisy Milan comes out for Bethan Ellis.
Excellent. And in terms of the Derbyshire team, again, they just had 1 or 2 changes again from yesterday.
Prisha Beatty, a loanee from Essex's Academy, and Francesca Clark, who took 9 wickets for them last season, comes in off the back of a bit of an injury, so she'll be glad to be back involved.
Excellent. So we are due for play to start on time at 3 o'clock. And the weather is, like I say, glorious here in Cardiff, down at Sophia Gardens. So if you are in the area and looking to watch some amazing cricket here today, then please do come on down. It's a double header. The women's game first versus Derbyshire Falcons, followed by the men taking on Gloucestershire. We're just waiting for the umpires to come out, and they will be coming down those steps shortly, and play will then soon get underway.
Perfect conditions for a game of T20 cricket, as both teams, Derbyshire are a team who maybe haven't had the campaign they would have been after. They're yet to win a game in the One Day Cup. So a win yesterday in the Blast was much needed for them. They're definitely quite a strong T20 unit. So Glamorgan won't be thinking they've got it easy today.
No, and I think in terms of the campaign that Glamorgan have started out this season, they are 8 wins under their belt. So again, they're looking to probably capitalise on some really great performances recently, a few extra bit of pace in the attack as well for Glamorgan. But in terms of their batting has been absolutely exceptional in most of the games we've had a pleasure to play. So if you hear that noise in the background, that is the fire cannons going off as we welcome the team onto the ground, led out by the umpires.
You know it's Blast season when the pyrotechnics come out in full force. Maybe not what you want on a nice sunny day, bit of extra heat.
No, when you're still on some day fireworks, why not? Excellent, fabulous start as Lauren Parfitt and Daisy Jeans jog out to the middle. Derbyshire breaking from their huddle and again getting themselves into position, ready to go for this Vitality Blast T20.
Can Lauren Parfitt do one better than yesterday? She beat her best score of the professional T20 era against Gloucestershire with 86. Can she go one further? I mean, there were discussions. I was at Gloucestershire yesterday. There were discussions in the press box of a century, and we probably should have apologised to Lauren as we potentially cursed her.
So opening the bowling for Derbyshire Falcons is Olivia Baker from the River Taff end. We are sat at the Cathedral end, and that is our view for today. So taking the first ball is Daisy Jeans. She takes her guard. So quite an attacking field for Derbyshire to start with. They got 2 sweepers out on the leg side boundary, so deep backward square and just in front of square. Good crowd of coming in. Glorious day to be here. Umpire signals that we are good to go. Just wait for the music to stop and play will be underway. First ball just worked off the legs, nicely a single taken, so straight off the mark. Given us a leg by. Brings the captain, Lauren Parfitt, on strike. So a good bit of movement off the first ball from Baker. So Lauren's had a fantastic start to this season, leading from the front as captain. She faces the second ball of the over. As Baker comes in, pitched quite short, just tried to work it through the gully area, but no run taken.
She was also the second highest run scorer of Glamorgan's campaign last year, which saw them reach the semi-finals. They'll be hoping to go one better this year at a home finals day here at Sapphire Gardens in July.
Absolutely. Great day that will be if they are here in that final, as that's drilled and that's got through. He's beaten the inner ring through extra cover, so just a single taken. So missed field, unfortunately. It's quite hard on those wickets out there, but probably should have been taken in the inner ring by extra cover.
Maybe first over nerves in a big occasion here at a doubleheader at Sapphire Gardens.
So Olivia Baker returns to a mark, coming in. Again, better line, but worked nicely off the hips just in front. And that's racing away. It's very quick outfield here today. Will it go all the way to the boundary? And it has. And that brings up the first 4 of the innings for Daisy Jeans. So nicely worked off just in front of her pad there.
It was Prisha Beatty chasing after it on that boundary, but she's just got to retrieve it. Lovely start for Glamorgan, 6 for none.
I think that also shows how quick the outfield is here today. The pitch and outfield looks absolutely magnificent as always. But it looks a very good wicket to be batting on. So probably interesting choice for Derbyshire to put Glamorgan in, given the recent form, and particularly the form of their game yesterday with their impressive strike rate against Gloucestershire.
We've got a quite slight pause as Lauren Parfitt reties her shoelaces, which is not what you want in the first over.
Baker comes in again. A much better line and just blocked by Daisy Jeans. Second dot ball of this over. Baker comes in. That's absolutely launched over the inner ring by Daisy Jean. She leapt back into that one, pitched far too short from Baker and absolutely capitalised on it and straight over the inner ring. So fielding restrictions in place, but absolutely effortless there from Daisy Jeans to bring up her second 4 of the over, which takes Glamorgan 10 for without loss off the first over.
It was a lovely, powerful strike through that mid-wicket region. 10 for none off the first. What a quick start for
Very
Glamorgan.
fantastic start for Glamorgan, but as the saying goes, you can't bowl there to Daisy Jeans on the back of, again, an impressive strike rate yesterday against Gloucestershire.
It's going to be the right arm pace of Melisha Tennakoon from the Cathedral Road end. She took 3 for 23 versus Sussex yesterday, so in quite some form.
Yeah, interesting to see how she bowls. Like you say, some great stats from yesterday. That's good line, good pace.
Into path, it very respectfully worked into the inner ring. She makes her way back to the top of her mark. Coming in again to the right-handed parfit. And it's worked lovely and straight down the ground. You're not catching that one. A lovely straight drive from Lauren Parfit to take Glamorgan to 14 for none.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's a classic Lauren Parfit shot. Stand and deliver, drilled straight down past the bowler for 4 runs.
Tennakoon in again to the skipper.
That's wayward. Very, very wide. That probably wasn't even on the track. So the blue lines there, if you're watching, the blue lines are the indicator. So anything outside of that is a wide. So very strict on that, but that was very wayward. So she just needs to find her way again.
Tennakoon back into Parfit.
Again, that will be a wide.
Overcompensated on that one. We've already got over 500 scanned in here at Sapphire Gardens. It's great to see so many people enjoying this women's game on a glorious sunny Saturday.
Yeah, that is great news on the numbers.
Tennakoon coming in to Parfit. And it's chipped up and over the inner ring. It will run it all. It's plugged. It is plugged. They will scamper through for a quick 2. Noeling Davies did well to cut that one off.
Yeah, didn't quite get hold of that one, but I think it's obvious these two are showing their intent, want to take advantage quickly in this game, stamp their authority and get a significant run rate in the opening overs. Again, probably looking to set a big total. So Glamorgan moving to Tier 1, fully professional next year. So just flexing their muscles. So that one was worked off the leg side by Lauren Parfit, just in front of square for a single. But quite mixed over so far, Rosa.
It has been for Tennakoon. Maybe not had the accuracy, the line and length she would have been hoping for early on, but it's got a lot tighter as we go on. We know she's dangerous and a real wicket-taking threat.
Yeah, she just needs to find her rhythm and then line and length. Ooh. That was a significantly better ball, actually. So also a half-hearted appeal for LBW, but given us leg buys and not given out. Yeah, would have been going way down leg, just almost did a bit too much.
It jagged back in that one.
Again, that's a much better line and getting some good movement off the seam.
Coming in for the final ball of the over. And it split the 2 fielders at point and cover point and run away for 4. Another boundary to the total. Glamorgan 24 for none from 2.
Yeah, she was reaching for that one on the replay. Probably not a lot of foot movement, but it was out wide enough for Lauren to be able to just throw the batsies. No feet movement there, but didn't matter, says 4 in the book. So yeah, Glamorgan going along very nicely, 24 off 2 overs.
Stand and admire.
Yeah. Yeah, applying sun cream in the crowd, sensible, very warm here today.
I mean, I put sun cream on and I'm sat here in the commentary box. Got to be prepared.
So just making some fielding adjustments here from Baker before she starts her second over. So the sweeper's out on the leg side is now one in front of square and deep mid. And then everybody else is in the ring. No slip in place. So everybody bar short fine is in front, and that's absolutely pulled away. But that fielder has been moved for a reason. So they've clocked Daisy Jeans's shot. Single taken to keep that run rate ticking along.
They won't mind that single Derbyshire, but it does bring on the ever dangerous Lauren Parfitt onto strike.
Baker comes in. Oh, it's a catch, and it's taken. And that is taken by Beatty in the cover area. So again, not really much foot movement, I don't think, from Lauren if you see the replay. So it was kind of reaching for it, and it was always uppish. So yeah, no feet movement there, unfortunately, and that's a great catch. It was going quite fast and low, but that is a great wicket for Derbyshire Falcons, and they'll be pleased to see the captain heading back to the pavilion. So unable to take her innings yesterday through to this game today.
Parfitt looking to work it over that inner ring, continue early momentum, but she's chipped it straight to Beatty at cover point. A great catch for Derbyshire. Not so great for Glamorgan, 25 for 1.
Yeah, it brings Bethan Ellis to the crease. So again, a Glamorgan regular. So Glamorgan currently 25 for 1 now.
Loney from Warwickshire. Bethan Ellis, she spent a lot of time on loan with the side last year as well, and she is Welsh. She grew up about 5 minutes from here, so it's almost written in the stars that she's representing Glamorgan.
So that probably is going to make Olivia Baker feel a bit better about her first couple of overs here today. So Ellis just having a look around. So again, no field changes for the new batter in. As Baker comes into bowl from the River Taff end. Top ball.
We've not got the confusing nature of having Bethan and B Ellis playing today. B has come out of the team after the win yesterday.
What? Yes, it's gone down the leg side. I think it would have been a wide anyway, but I think clip the pads on the way through. So 2 taken. So I think the umpire will signal a leg buys. And she does. But 2 extra runs on the board for Glamorgan. Again, tried to work it away, but dot ball. So Glamorgan scored 184 off their 20 overs yesterday. I think that's the area that I think they will certainly be looking to be scoring. As, like I say, they move into Tier 1 next year. But they had to go some yesterday to get there.
They did. It was rather formidable and sums up Glamorgan this year as they're 8 from 8 in all competitions.
Sort of a bit of a flat bat shot that, but a quick single scampered. Luckily, probably hit the top of the bat, otherwise it may have carried to the fielder at mid-on, and that brings the end of the over. So Glamorgan moved for 28 for 1 with the wicket of Lauren Parfitt being taken in that over.
An over that brings Liv Baker her first wicket of the Blast campaign. She was involved in their win yesterday with figures of 0 for 22, but she couldn't quite get that first wicket.
Yeah.
So she'll be, I imagine, very pleased. It looks like it's going to be Lauren Kenvin coming on.
Coming on, yeah.
At the Cathedral Road end. Sticking with the pace, some right arm pace coming your way here. Also handy with bat in hand, she scored a crucial 25 for Derbyshire yesterday in their win. Didn't take any wickets, so like Liv, she'll be looking for her first today.
Yeah, so quite a soon change of bowl for Derbyshire Falcons as Kevin comes in. See that hand movement.
Ellis trying to work it through that leg side, but she can't sweep it away.
Yeah, good action here from Kevin. Not seen a bowl before, but you see the just sort of coming out the side of the hand as she's bowling it in to the wickets.
Also getting some very good swing off the surface as she comes into Ellis. Oh, and it's worked its way through to Matilda Atherton-Gator behind the stumps. I'm not sure if bat was involved there.
Feels like it might have been. Nothing else was signalled, so I think it just hit the bottom of the bat as it flummoxed pretty much everyone. Yep. Not quite the Nat Sibber-Brunt shot through the legs.
The nutmeg.
The nutmeg, but close enough. And that's drilled off the pads behind backward square for a single.
Kenvin is a product of the Bears Academy. You'll notice when you watch Tier 2 cricket this season, there's a lot of loanees from all over, from Tier 1 academies, and it's just a really great opportunity for these players coming through to be playing consistent and competitive cricket.
No, absolutely. It's great to see, and it's good to have that flexibility to ensure that people are getting the games. That's driven over just in front of the inner ring, but it will race away. I don't think they're going to be able to stop that, no. So that is another 4. So unfortunately, Rhiannon Noling-Davis couldn't quite chase that down, but another 4 there for Ellis. Moves her on to 6 off 7.
It was a great attempt to chase that from Noling-Davies. The outfield, I don't think, helped her. It moved very quickly.
Yeah, it's racing away here today.
Kenvin coming into Ellis, and it will be given as a wide down the leg side. We're already at a 9.55 run rate, so a very quick start for those in Glamorgan colours. Glamorgan blue today. Kenvin into Ellis, and it's just worked around the corner to the fielder, and she's tried to get in. That was a very cheeky single from a Glamorgan perspective. It was Liv Baker.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have been a run there, some might say, but I think if there's good communication, they scampered quickly across the 22 yards to get that single. Probably looking for 2 here. Yeah, they've gone for it. And well run. Quite a deep outfield here today. That brings the end of the over. So Glamorgan swifting along to 38 for 1. Current run rate of 9.5. So off 4 overs in the power play. That's what you should be doing on your bank holiday.
Enjoying a pint in the sun at the cricket.
Absolutely. Other beverages are available.
It's great to see a real scattering of fans enjoying some Tier 2 cricket.
Yeah, it is a truly glorious day and bank holiday weekend, unlike it usually is for sometimes in May, but a lot of cricket going on around the ground, which we will give you a bit of an update on some of those at the end of this over. Particularly England women taking on New Zealand. So, change of bowling at the River Taff end. Francesca Clark Coming on to bowl. Again, sticking with pace. For now, for Derbyshire. And Ellis is on strike. Slightly down the leg side. They've, again, off the pads, but great communication here between these two. A very quick single taken. So leg by signalled. But just keeping that run rate up there.
Clark coming into the team today. She wasn't involved yesterday, but she did take 9 wickets for Derbyshire last season, so they'll be chuffed to have her back involved.
Puts a bit more pace into that one. Tried to work it through the point area, but well fielded by Fran Lonsdale. Yeah, she certainly put her back into that one, Clark. As she turns again. Again, good pace, but well drilled again. Slight misfield, and it will race away for 4. So again, Jean's just absolutely in good form at the moment and capitalising on a slightly wider ball there. Using the pace and just drilling that through. Again, flaying dive, but maybe should have been stopped in the inner ring. That's what we sort of grow to expect now with the high levels of athleticism in the fielding department, but moves Jeans onto 16. Again, slightly wider, and that's lofted, beautiful lofted drive over the inner ring there. And that's 4 straight away to the boundary. No mucking about here from Jeans.
There really isn't. I think the Derbyshire skipper, Adriana Darlow, thought there was a catch on there momentarily. She just had to watch it sail over her head as it ran away for another 4. Glamorgan 47 for 1 here off just 4.4 overs.
Yeah, that's some absolutely brilliant batting from Daisy Jeans. Again, using the people within that inner ring to advantage. Bit of width, pace. Just lofted beautifully over there. Slower ball, drilled down, and taken the stumps out. And they've taken a quick single. No finger on it from Clark, so no chance of a run out. But I'm hoping that Ellis was safely in her crease. We see this quite often these days, as you see on the replays, just drilled straight back.
Just absolutely shattered those stumps. Middle stump. I mean, you'd be pretty pleased with that if you were a bowler. She's lucky that Clark didn't get a finger to it.
It's already 10 from this over.
So umpire now has to prepare the stumps with help from the bat of Daisy Jeans. They're a bit wonky at the moment.
And the middle one's not quite right, but might need a readjustment yet. It's having a readjustment. Slightly on the wonk.
We've got some weird, harsh critics up here of the stump repairing.
Okay, last ball of this over. Dug in short. Again, quick single taken by Ellis. Again, I think this shows the difference of just that aggression that Glamorgan are bringing to their batting department at the moment this year. Just always looking for a run or a quick single to be taken, or anything loose and wide goes for 4. So Glamorgan 49 for 1 of 5 overs.
We're a standalone women's county game today, but we have got England women in action versus New Zealand, and New Zealand have had quite the rebuild. They are 74 for 4 from 10.4 overs. For context, they were 11 for 4. So Sophia Devine is currently 44 not out, and Maddie Green 15 not out.
And that's great news for the Welsh people tuning in, because Sophie Devine will be at the Welsh Fire this season, starting in August. So good news for Welsh Fire fans.
It's Kenvin continuing at the Cathedral Road end into Ellis as she works it around the legs, and it will be collected by the sweeper on the leg side. They scamper through for a quick second and they will get there. Productive running up to 51 for 1.
Yeah, it brings up the 50 already in the 5th over. So excellent run rate here from Glamorgan.
A rather young side from Derbyshire is on display. We've spoken about the amount of academy products they have on display. Kenvin is 18 years old herself. She comes into Ellis. And it'll be worked into the inner ring, and another very cheeky single.
Yeah, I think Derbyshire probably not quite anticipating. I mean, only 5 overs gone, and Glamorgan have done that from ball 1. So probably just need to be a bit more alert, know which end to throw down, who's running to the danger end. That's a wayward ball. It's very wide and may run away. Not quite to the boundary, but they take 2 byes. But yeah, I think it's just that anticipation. You know what Glamorgan are going to do. It's not even drop and run. They're just placing it nicely where it's not able to penetrate that inner ring and going.
You almost want more energy from the field coming in and getting that ball in. I mean, Matilda Afton-Gate with a lovely glove on that one, stop it running away for 4.
So a bit of a misfield there, so a single taken. Tennacoon in a ring there. So the sweeper's out on either side, so only 2 outs.
Much better line and length there from Kenvin. She's been worked off the pads by Ellis. She looks like a real threat when she gets that line and length right, but it's just about that inconsistency. But that's part of being a young pace bowler.
No, absolutely, and I think this is where you learn your craft. So it's like you say, good to see so many academy players making a step into these games, playing with and against some of the best. Oh, went for a ramp shot, went through everybody. Don't think she got anything on that, so it's 4 byes. But it's another 4 to Glamorgan.
It was an attempted shot of real intent from Bethan Ellis. It did end up just going straight through her and Afton-Gate behind the stumps, who was potentially anticipating for her to get some bat on it.
Yeah.
The Falcons with a very bold design on the front of their kit, with the falcon with its wings out. I'm a fan of that one.
So just looking to make some fielding adjustments here. So dropping out Tennacoon, comes out of the inner ring and bringing up the sweeper on the offside into the ring. So 2 now leg side out. Pitched in short though. Ooh, almost got something on it. So it brings the end of that over. Moves Glamorgan on to 60 for 1 off 6 overs, with Jeans on 22 off 13 and Ellis moving 10 off 15 balls.
And with the end of the power play, 4 fielders can now go out of that inner ring. It is 4 and not 5, unlike the men's game. It's one of the few inconsistencies that remain in the rule books.
It won't take many of you with maths to work out that Glamorgan are going at 10 and over, which is extremely impressive. So looking to probably put a big total on here today. So change of bowling. So number 6, Rhiannon Noling Davies, coming on to bowl at the River Taff end. Again, sticking with pace for now, Derbyshire. Jeans on strike as she comes in, and that's absolutely launched over the. It's a bit lofty, but doesn't get any distance. But they scamper to as the sweeper comes in to field that, but didn't quite get hold of that one. But it was safely over the fielder in the inner ring.
It's fallen into no man's land between those 2 fielders out on the boundary on the offside and Adriana Darlow in the inner ring.
As Nolan comes in again, just kind of a flat bat swat. Ball seems to be following Tennacoon today. It seems to be wherever she is, the ball is finding her.
She's a busy one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe it knows about her antics yesterday.
It's whipped away, but fielder is out there. Single taken to Jeans. throw comes in. But yeah, that was struck very well, but just for the one, because their sweeper is out there. Splitting between those two fielders out in the deep. Brings Ellis on strike to face her first ball from Noling. Pitch short and wide, so pulled away nicely, but there is a fielder out there who's dives. Great take and throw back in, so 2 taken.
It was split perfectly between those two fielders at backward point and cover.
Good work out in the deep. Nolan comes again, slightly shorter. Again, just worked nicely between backward point. It will race away for 4. That's another boundary for Ellis.
Fran Lonsdale chasing after it. It is just a chase. She just has to retrieve it. Noling Davies is a Glamorgan know about the antics of Noling Davies. Let's put it that way. The last time these two sides met in the One Day Cup, despite a rather dominant victory from a Glamorgan perspective, Noling Davies took 5 for 36.
Again, just a little bit wide, but dot ball, much needed, and that brings the end of that over. So again, a brilliant over from Glamorgan, moves them on for 69 for 1 off 7 with a run rate of 9.86, so it's holding steady near the 9 to 10 mark.
These two are operating really well out in the middle, aren't they? You can tell they've played quite a bit of cricket together in recent times. Their communication running between the wickets is outstanding, and their ability to turn a dot into a 1 and sometimes a 2, as we've seen, has been quite remarkable and really helped get them to this quite large total.
So change of bowling. So the captain brings herself on. So we are having first bit of spin here today. So Adriana Darlow, captain today, coming in off spin. That's drilled, absolutely brilliantly drilled, beats the fielder. So 2 wide, unfortunately, and Daisy Jean's hitting some great form at the moment. So that's another 4 on the board for Glamorgan and for Daisy Jeans.
It was Noling Davies diving into the cover region, trying to get her hands to it, and she can't. It works its way through. Another 4 from a Glamorgan perspective, 73 for 1 here. Darlow in again to Jeans. And it's lofted straight over her head, and it will be cut off by Kenvin as they scamper through for a single. I thought that was going all the way then. I thought it had the momentum, and then it just stopped.
I think as well where we sit, I didn't realise there was someone down there on the boundary, but there is, obviously. So well fielded by the sweeper.
I think that's missed everything there. It's gone straight through the bat of Ellis. Through to Atherton gating behind the stumps. Getting some turn off the surface here, Darlow, as she comes in again to Ellis, who attempts the sweep and can't get anything on it. It goes for again for another dot. Better here for Derbyshire.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many 2 dot balls they've had in an over, but I'm thinking it's not very many. Yeah, trying the reverse sweep there.
Skip
goes again.
It's definitely one of her preferred shots, Bethan Ellis. It does give her some reward this time, coming through for a single. 6 off the over so far.
Brings up the 50 partnership. Impressive. Off 7.5 overs.
Ticking along really nicely, these two, looking to set up Glamorgan for a pretty large total. Can they beat the 184 they scored last night? 2 games in 2 days is brutal scheduling for both of these teams.
Oof. Absolutely swept away. There was an opportunity potentially for a catch, but 4 taken instead.
It was a superb diving effort, actually, from Lonsdale. It just worked its way over her head. She couldn't make up that ground. Takes Glamorgan to 79 for 1 from 8. We've got, I don't know if you can hear the scatterblast sirens on the screen, but we have got a scatterblast with some t-shirts being thrown into the crowd.
So it's warm work out there today, so Daisy Jean's just taking a quick drink, as is Ellis.
A really good crowd building here at Sapphire Gardens. As we say, it's a lovely day. Get yourselves down.
Great atmosphere building. So Knowling continuing to bowl for the River Taff end, slightly wide, and that's pulled away, but in front of square there is a fielder out there. It's a slight misfield. They think about 2, but just a single taken.
Derbyshire will be really hoping to break this ever dangerous partnership here.
I think we were all worried when Lauren Parfitt was out early on in this game, but needn't have worried with this partnership going along so brilliantly at the moment. Pitch short, and that's pulled straight into the gap, and that's 4 runs. Easy pickings there for Daisy Jeans. Just leant back, pulled away nicely into deep mid-wicket area. So 2 sweepers out, but not in that gap. So again, splitting the field for every day of the week.
Stand and admire that one, Daisy Jeans. It's a good sign for Glamorgan, actually, as Lauren Parfitt has done a lot of the heavy lifting across competitions this year. So for them to have others up the order that can, when needed, build those crucial partnerships is vital.
Yeah, and that's drilled straight down the track, but again, deep mid-off is cuts that off for a single. I've noticed as well that, I don't know if you noticed that previous ball, that Jeans wasn't even ready in her crease and taking a mark, and Knowling had already started to come in, and she's done that a couple of times, so just needs to just wait until they are ready before she starts her run. See, she's already starting a run before the batter has indicated they're ready.
She's an eager one, is Knowling Davies.
Just pulled away to the mid-wicket area for a single.
Tenakoon trying to get down to it in that inner circle. I think it's worked its way through her legs.
Again, that's not going to be cut off. So 4 runs. So again, just Jeans leaning back nicely in that, pulling it through the covers there.
It was a diving effort from Prisha Beatty, and she just can't quite get her fingertips on it. Jeans going along very nicely here, 43 from 22 deliveries.
Yeah, there's much work for Derbyshire to do here. Too much width being given. To tighten their lines a bit, because the field is quite split now, so plenty of opportunity for Glamorgan to continue this run rate, which is up in the 10s. Again, just a single taken, so Knowling has to pretty much go field around bottom. They've taken 2, they've gone for 2, and that's great running. Absolutely brilliant scampering through the wicket there.
They're absolutely rapid, these 2 between the sticks.
13 from that over, so Glamorgan move on to 92 for 1 off 9 overs, with Jeans brilliantly going along at 45 off 23 and Ellis 19 off 23.
We have had some questions on the group chat of the stream regarding Tier 1, how the professionalisation of the women's game works. We've mentioned that Glamorgan will be going up to Tier 1 in 2027. The cricket you're seeing today is not professional. These players are not paid professionals. They're playing at professional grounds with professional coaching, but they themselves are not pros. They're all balancing other careers alongside their cricket. It's going to be Darlow to continue at the Cathedral Road end.
Brilliantly drilled again. 4 runs from Ellis. So absolutely brilliant shot. Just first ball of the over. Drilled down the ground, splitting the gap. 4. Sorry, yes, back to you.
And they will go professional, Glamorgan. So they will have a completely professional setup being promoted to Tier 1. That's already been arranged. It's not because of where they finish in the competitions this year. They will become the 10th fully professional women's county side as Darlow comes in again to Ellis.
She tries the same shot. That takes a single instead.
Bit less power on that one compared to the last. But Glamorgan are preparing for life as a professional cricket team, which is super exciting for everyone involved at the county.
As Darlow comes in again for a third ball of the over. Absolutely love. I mean, that is just majestic, that shot. Absolutely beautiful shot from Daisy Jeans. Darlow doesn't really know where to put it or what to do here. So no pace on it, but that's absolutely drilled, and that takes Glamorgan over 100. So 101 for 1 in the 9th over. Yeah, I think, Glamorgan have had 2 years to prepare, so they found the news out that they would be obviously joining Tier 1 as a professional side for 2027. So it's quite a good position to be, to see what other teams are doing, how other counties are preparing and playing, their games, testing as many players as possible. And that brings up 50 for Daisy Jeans, so just a single taken. Absolutely fantastic start for Daisy Jeans here today. 50 off 25 balls, so super strike rate as well. Quick hug from Ellis to say well done. So Darla had changed to be coming through the umpire, so around the wicket. Just to try and work the angle slightly different, to do something different with this pair that are so well established here at the crease. Oh, and it's worked. She's bolder. She's taken the off stump out. So change of angle from Darlow has absolutely worked as Ellis tried to cut that one away, but it's probably just too tight. So it brings up the second wicket for Derbyshire Falcons. So Ellis goes for 24 off 26. And that's just watching the replay. So she just tried to step back and cut that one, but it cut back in. Yeah, that's well bowled by Darlow. So she's happy with that.
Darlow breaking a 77 strong partnership between Ellis and Jeans, a much needed wicket from a Derbyshire perspective, but Jeans is still in the middle. The dangerous Jeans on 50. It really turned back in off the surface, that one. There's definitely some give in this wicket.
Certainly jagged. So just when you think you've got rid of one, Beth Gammon steps out to the crease.
When in Wales.
So again, extremely strong start to the season from Beth Gammon. A very attacking batter, strike hitter, can scamper very quickly between the wickets.
She's become a rather crucial head for Glamorgan over the past couple of years. Their top run scorer in this tournament last year. She'll be hoping to build on that form. Only managed 8 yesterday versus Gloucestershire, so we'll be hoping for a few more today, as Glamorgan are ticking along very nicely. She takes her guard. Darlow with 1 ball to come in this over. Negotiating with the umpire. Just a bit to the right. There we have it. Darlow coming in and around the wicket to the right-handed Gammon. And it's worked through the leg side. It will be retrieved by the sweeper as they scamper through for a quick 2. And it's tight, but they do make it. That's outstanding running from Jeans and Gammon, taking Glamorgan up to 104 for 2 from 10 at the halfway stage.
I imagine Jeans is probably just going to wander down and say, Beth, I've been here 10 over, it's quite warm, we've scored 50. Can you maybe just think about scampering the second one? But yeah, comfortably home in the end. So yeah, just looking at the graph here in terms of the strike rate from Glamorgan. It's way up there. So in the third over, that was only 4 off that one, but everything else has been 8 and above, which is fantastic strike rate here.
It must be a bit of a shock as a player. You've been playing in quite Baltic Welsh weather for a good few weeks in the One Day Cup and some County Cup games, and then suddenly you get to the blast and the sun decides to come out and it's 24 degrees.
So we get a change of bowling. Spin from both ends now.
We get to see Prisha Bailey for the first time in the blast this season.
So from the river tough end, starting from around the wicket to Jeans. Just worked nicely down the ground for a single.
It was fascinating to watch Beth and Gammon operate in Bristol yesterday because they already had 140 on the board and she was really pushing for the second singles, and the batters who'd been set be like, can we perhaps, take a minute? We've got a lovely total on the board, let's not tire ourselves out.
So pulled behind backward square by Gammon for a single. Just a little bit of width coming from Beatty. But she's continuing to bowl around the wicket. She comes in for a third ball, slightly wider the other side, but again drilled down the ground. That always looking for two is the intent, but only a single taken. So continue to rotate the strike.
She's probably one of the fastest on the Tier 2 circuit, Beth and Gammon, at getting between the wickets. She's already halfway down for the second when her non-striker's got one.
She tries to work that one, but a much needed dot ball for Derbyshire Falcons. Oh, it's an appeal and it's given. So Gammon has gone, caught behind. So it's a great take from Matilda Atherton-Gator and brings the first wicket for Betty. And yeah, she's trying to again work it through that sort of point cover sort of area, but got a little nick on it. So just watching the replay, so she leant back, tried to work it just too tight, and that's a great take from behind the stumps. And she knew she was gone, unfortunately, so we bigged it up a bit too much, but Beth Gammon is making her way back to the pavilion.
It was
scoring 3.
A mirror of the attempted shot the ball before, and this time she does get that feather of an edge onto it. 18-year-old Matilda Atherton-Gator behind the stumps with an outstanding take, getting her gloves behind it. It will be Eve Jackson to join Daisy Jeans in the middle.
So Glamorgan 107 for 3 off 10.5 overs. So still only halfway through, so a long way to go. Run rate's still up at 9.9. It might slow up a bit now as some of the key top order, but the ever formidable Daisy Jeans is still at the crease and going along very nicely. As Eve Jackson faces her first ball. Gives it a swing. Onto the onside. Didn't really probably know where that one had gone, but it's off the mark.
There was a moment they were looking for a second, and there was a panic from Daisy Jean saying, "Don't you dare!" There's some real eagerness from these batters. I wonder what the messaging is from Rachel Priest, whether the messaging is get every run you can on the board.
Yeah, I think that flip from 50 overs to 20, the adjustment in terms of stating the obvious, but less overs, so you need to significantly increase the run rate and rotation of strike. But yeah, yesterday's game and today's game is showing the intent of what Glamorgan are looking to do in this Vitality Blast T20 campaign, is score quickly. So change of bowler again, so captain has come out. So Adriana Darlow, even though she got a wicket in her last over, has taken herself out of the attack to bring pace back with Jackson on strike. So Tenna Kuhn, right arm from the cathedral end, comes in to bowl to Eve Jackson.
And it's gone straight through to the keeper for a dot. Great start to the over for Tenna Kuhn.
Yeah, probably a bit wide. You want to, Eve Jackson's only face one ball. You want to get them playing it if possible. So tighter lines. still required, but good pace from Tennakoon. Try and be going stump to stump where you can.
Right arm to right arm into Jackson.
That's there you go, that's what happens. Bowl straight, and she's been given LBW. So tighter lines, and that brings up a wicket for Tennakoon. So Jackson, not really much foot movement, and caught straight in front of her stumps and given LBW, and is heading back to the pavilion for just one. So as Tennakoon comes in here, much better line. Yeah, on the back pad, straight in front. Easy decision for the umpire.
Maybe caught off guard there, Jackson, by how tight that one was compared to the first one she faced. Completely mistimed it, and it's another wicket for Derbyshire.
Yeah, if you see, she was trying to, it's a straight ball, and she was turning the bat to leg side rather than playing a straight back there. So opening herself up to the LBW option. So it brings Amy Wheeler in. What do we know about Amy Wheeler, Rosa?
Amy Wheeler has played a handful of games for Glamorgan this season. She's been rehabbing from a stress fracture in her back, but she's a really explosive all-rounder. The last time she came out for Glamorgan was versus Kent in the One Day Cup. She scored 42 not out from 30 and took 2 wickets. So Glamorgan will be hoping for more of those runs today.
Yeah, definitely. Derbyshire probably feeling a bit more better about things at the moment now. 4 wickets down. Daisy Jean still eludes them. As Tennakoon comes in for her 3rd ball of this over. That's unfortunately wide.
It's wayward. It's a great take from Atherton Gator behind the stumps, who is having quite a consistent performance, the wicketkeeper for Derbyshire.
Yeah, that would have probably raced away. There's no fine or 3rd in place, so that would have known down there to stop that if she hadn't made that, like I say, diving stop to leg side. Tennakoon comes in, much better line, drilled down the ground, and Wheeler off the mark with a single.
Norling Davies did well to get down to that one, as she's sent out to the boundary. As the dangerous Jeans comes back on strike, who's had to watch a lot of her batting partners get out here, so she'll be hoping that Wheeler can stick with her.
Yeah, since the wicket of Ellis, 2 have gone very quickly. Slower ball. Well disguised, actually. Very well disguised there from Tennakoon. Almost caught Daisy Jeans out, but managed to spot it at the last minute.
Tennakoon into Jeans. And it's worked very respectfully back to her. As Jeans rushes to tie her shoe. I don't feel it's much worse as a batter than your shoelace coming undone whilst you're out in the middle.
Yeah, you always ask someone else to do it. It's what I used to do. Just hope they don't
get on the fielders
tie
too.
it to your pad or something, but or to the other shoe. So I don't think in this game so far we've had 3 dot balls in a row. We've only ever had 2. It's an opportunity for Tennakoon to rectify that, which she does. So it brings the end of the over with a wicket in there, and Glamorgan 110 for 4 off 12, so 8 overs remaining, still with a really impressive run rate of 9.17. Jeans on 52 off her 30, and Wheeler very new into the crease just for 1, and there is a drinks break. So Rosa, what's happening at the England game?
The England game has seen quite a remarkable comeback for New Zealand. They were 11 for 4, they're now 146 for 4. And over 100 partnership from Sophie Devine and Maddie Green. Sophie Devine, Welsh Fire's Sophie Devine, is 72 not out from 49, whilst Maddie Green is 52 not out from 44. The wickets for England came 1 for Bell and 3 for Smith.
Yeah, that would be frustrating for England, having gotten so many early wickets, but Sophie Devine batting brilliantly by the sounds of things. So back to where we are, Glamorgan v Derbyshire Falcons. Betty from the River Taff end, bowling around the wicket. Spin to Wheeler, who is very new to the crease, only facing one ball so far. And it's chipped up in the air, and it's straight back to the bowler, and it's a caught and bowled. That's brilliant bowling there from Betty, straight from just a quick drinks break, and gets the wicket of Wheeler. So it just chipped straight back to the bowler. So she just didn't really know where to work it, I don't think, Wheeler. So she sort of wanted to work it off the legs, but it just pitched straight back up, straight back to the bowler.
Frustration shown from Wheeler. I mean, Derbyshire are really chipping back Glamorgan. Glamorgan were 100 for 1 and are now 110 for 5. So we've lost four wickets in 10 runs. Not what you'll be hoping for if you're a Glamorgan fan. But there is still batting to come. It looks like it will be Gemma Porter to join Daisy Jeans at the crease. Predominantly a right arm off spinner, but she can contribute runs when necessary, and Glamorgan certainly need them here.
Porter takes a guard, so wicket from the first ball for Betty.
Remarkable figures of 2 for 4 here as well for Betty.
Play back nicely for a dot.
Not a bad run out this if it's your first T20 Blast game of the season, as it is for Prisha Beatty. She wasn't involved in their win yesterday. Coming into Porter. Another dot ball. And again, and it's worked just inside the inner ring, and they'll try and scamper through for a quick single, and they will make it, taking Gemma Porter off strike. If someone can stay in here with Jeans, they'll still be hoping for a rather large total.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't faced many balls recently, I don't think, because wickets have been falling around her. So her momentum might be slightly gone. She tries to cut that one away.
Derbyshire also much more alive now in the field. We spoke about the energy with the amount of quick singles that Glamorgan were in reality getting away with, and they seem a lot more awake now as a fielding unit and preventing them.
It's the last ball of this over. Slightly wide, but well fielded. So only one off that and a wicket for Betty. So great over for her. Glamorgan 111 for 5 off 13 overs. So 7 overs remaining. 5 wickets down. So they'll be looking to... Strike rate still 8.5. So it's been up in the 10s. But with those wickets falling, it's brought that run rate down, but still going extremely well.
It's going to be Twenty20 to continue at the Cathedral Road end. 1 for 15 for her so far. Gemma Porter makes her mark for the first time at the River Taff end. Twenty20 coming into Porter, and it's wayward down the leg side for a wide. They will also scamper through for a single. She's another one that they were really struggling to judge her pace and her length when she's on it, but we've seen a lot of those balls kind of make their way down the leg side.
Yeah, just slightly lacking control. Also that wide and by takes Glamorgan off the famous 1-1-1 score. So just keeping very quiet as they move to 113.
I was wondering where you'd gone.
I was like, don't speak. I didn't want to speak, say anything. I didn't want to mention it.
It's better, that one from Twenty20. Another dot ball. A building of dots now for Derbyshire after not very many in the early phases.
Yeah, momentum slightly gone for Glamorgan. But while Jeans are still at the crease, I think they'll be feeling quite confident. It's full toss, and that's pulled away nicely into the gap. A dive, but unfortunately no joy there, and that is 4 runs, much needed, probably 4 for Glamorgan to feel a bit better about things with, like I say, losing 4 wickets for not particularly many runs.
It was powerfully swept through
toss,
the leg side.
Got what it deserved.
It did.
But yeah, good effort down there from Lonsdale, but unable to stop it.
She's been kept busy this game, Lonsdale. There's been a lot of diving efforts as Twenty20 comes in again to Jeans. And there's nearly a feather over an edge there. It's gone straight through to Matilda Atherton-Gator behind the stumps. Much better from Twenty20.
Jean's eyes lit up a little there, but it wasn't quite wide enough for that shot.
Shows this eagerness, though, from Jeans to really pick up this rate again as Twenty20 comes in.
Worked off the legs, and that will race away easily for 4. So, is it going to... Yeah, 4 to Jeans. Wonder whether it came off the pad, but she managed to get a bat on that. So again, just slightly drifting, and all she had to do was help it on its way. Yeah, nicely played. No one down there. So it's the inconsistency, isn't it? It's having a good over and then 9 coming from this over already. On the back of only 1 from the over before and a wicket.
I mean, as we say, she's an academy product on loan from Bears Academy. So plenty of time for her to build on that consistency as she comes in again to Jeans.
It's gone skyward, but I think it's going to go in the gap. Oh, just a great effort over the head, the hardest catches to take. And I think that was Olivia Baker who tried to track that one back, but over the head, always really hard to take. I thought it was going to go between all 3 fielders, but a lot closer than I realised.
It really hung
Baker,
in the air.
Yeah, tried to get a hand to it, but just missing.
Hung in the air looking into the sun. Twenty20 in for the last of the over.
And that's launched over backward square for 4 to round off a brilliant over for Daisy Jeans. So 15 coming from that over. Get her back on strike, and that's what happens.
Re-grabbing that early dominance, Glamorgan, as they look for a big total here at Sophia Gardens, where it's great to see so many people enjoying the cricket in the sun. Over 500 in already.
Yeah, I think that's building as we work towards the men's game this evening. So Glamorgan 127 for 5 off 14. Jeans going brilliantly, 66 off 38 balls with 6 overs remaining. And the music continuing to play.
It's how you know you're in blast season,
Yeah.
that sound.
Getting the crowd
Instant
going.
warmth.
So Betty continuing from the River Taff end, so continuing with spin with Porter on strike. Worked away to leg side and a quick single taken.
Some quite bold spikes from the Derbyshire fielder, Tash Allen. They're kind of this neon yellow.
Yeah. Okay, so deep backward square comes up into the inner ring, so sweepers out left and right. Daisy Jeans on strike, who just drills straight down the ground, but there is a sweeper out on the mid. Deep long off. Continuing from around the wicket. And that's, again, work down, long on for a single.
Beatty has really been the pick of these Derbyshire bowlers, coming in off a lot of runs being scored. 2 for 8 from 2.3 overs. Just the 3 from this one so far.
Again, draw down the ground. So, like I say, 4 fielders out now. So, deep long on, off, backward square. Actually, we've got, deep extra. And deep mid-wicket. So they are bringing, for Daisy Jeans, bringing one up into the ring and swapping one out each time. Dot ball.
She has a rather aggressive set pose, does Porter.
It's a very open stance. Just try to work that one through backward point gully area. Brings the end of the over, so a great over again from Betty. Glamorgan 131 for 5 or 15. So 5 overs remaining. So still going extremely well. So run rate is over 8.5 with 5 overs remaining. So still going to be up there with a big score here today, I think. Obviously Derbyshire will be looking to get Jeans out, which would then bring in Georgia Parfitt. And then sort of like into the tail, as they say.
It's been great to see Georgia Parfitt back involved with these T20s. She hasn't been in the One Day Cup, with Megan Sturge on loan from Hampshire being behind the stumps. Part of our power sister double act.
Yeah. Okay, change of bowler from the Cathedral end back into the attack is Olivia Baker. So pace back in. And Jeans launches that down the ground. Stand and deliver. 4 runs. Too much width there from Baker's opening ball from break from her spell. And yeah, Jeans just launched into that one straight down the ground. Brilliant shot.
It's the conviction behind the power and the confidence, because when you hit them hard, you're always in a much stronger position, and it's what really stood out yesterday as well, as Baker comes in again to Jeans. It wasn't just the quantity of runs scored yesterday, it was the conviction behind them and that confidence that was definitely throwing Gloucestershire off guard, and you'd expect it's doing similar to Derbyshire. Little bit of confusion there between the batters, but thankfully no issues from it. Not as fluid between the wickets, these two, as we saw in the partnership of Ellis and Jeans.
Yeah, I think she was probably hoping for more. She absolutely nailed that shot to Jeans, but just for a single.
Baker into Porter, and it's come back in, but she's done well to get something behind it as they scamper through for a single. There's some real movement off this pitch, which bodes well for a very strong Glamorgan bowling attack. Baker in again, and it's worked to the fielder at short cover for a dot ball.
Yeah, like you say that. They think there's width on offer, and then it just jags back in as it's gripping the wicket. So it then just tightens up the batter, unable to throw the hands through it. 6 so far from the over. Last ball. There's an appeal for caught behind, but I think as Jeans was stepping away, that's why it wasn't given away, because she was stepping away from the ball.
She really followed that one. She was
did.
adamant to get some bat on it, and she nearly got too much bat on it.
Just, she saw she was going. She stood right in front of her stumps, look, and then brilliant bowling ready for Baker to follow. She was indicating a hit of pads. Got to be careful with that, but So 16 overs gone, 137 for 5. 4 overs remaining. Run rate still steady at 8.5. Jeans moves on to 73 off 45 with Porter 4 off 8. And they are rightly sticking with Betty, who's 2 for 9 off her 3 overs at the River Taff end.
She's pulled out of her stance here, Porter.
So only a maximum of 4 overs per bowler. So rightly bowling her out.
Glamorgan will probably be quite happy to see her out and then attack the pace coming in at these closing stages.
It's drilled into the gap. 4 runs. Lovely shot from Porter. Just leant back into that one. Great strike. Loving the pyrotechnics.
It's great to see the pyrotechnics at a Tier 2 women's blast game.
It really is.
Really heightens the atmosphere, even if they did make me jump earlier.
Just pulls out of her stance again.
I think she's unhappy with the pace at which Beatty's coming in, maybe just before she's actually ready in her stance here, Porter. It's the second time it's happened this over.
I think as well with when you're bowling just behind the umpire, lofted up. But you don't quite see them till they suddenly come into your peripheral vision. And you're like, oh, right, yeah.
It's a bright day as well,
Yeah.
which does make a difference, especially when you're used to playing in Wales.
Filling up nicely here at Sophia Gardens. Again, drilled into the gap, but the fielder will make it, but they'll look for 2. Yeah, well run.
Quite a vocal crowd as well, which is always good to hear.
Betty comes in, last 2 balls remaining, a swing and a miss. So much needed dot ball. Moves her legs, yeah, opens up the stance a bit more, and that will work its 3 through the gap for another 4. That's brilliantly played by Porter. Quite an open stance anyway, but you can see she worked her way across to just ensure she could, yeah, just get into that position to work it nicely off the legs, just in front of square for 4 runs. So that takes Glamorgan 147 for 5 off 17 overs with 3 overs remaining, so 10 from that over. Again, the steady run rate of 8.6.
It's an unfortunate end, that, to a very promising spell from Beatty. She finishes on 2 for 19 from her 4. Very impressive as the Glamorgan batters come back from having a drink. It's very warm out there.
So Baker staying in the attack, so staying with pace at this end.
Baker bowling her final over of the game, coming in to Daisy Jeans. And it's worked off the legs away for 4. Stamp of intent from Daisy Jeans as she looks to build on an already large Glamorgan total. She just worked it off the pads away for 4. Diving effort. 151 for 5. 150 up.
Yeah, looking to progress through these 3 overs, try and get another 30 potentially on the board. Absolutely launched, but fielder is out there in the deep. But I think as well, it's so good to hear a crowd in, everyone getting behind the players out there. Just gives you that extra pep in your step in terms of wanting to put on a really good performance. here for the crowds, which is growing nicely before the men take on Gloucestershire this evening, which is live from Sky Sports, and that's beautifully worked through the slip area and isn't going to make it for 4, but they are running 2. But yeah, that's showing all depth of experience there in terms of knowing where the field is and just faintest of bat on that to race away for 2.
Real intelligence there from Porter. It's a cruel sport, cricket, isn't it, that you can play such a stunningly timed shot and it just not quite run away for 4.
Feather of touches. That's 7 so far from this over. Much better delivery, but worked away for a single. Brings Jeans on strike.
Porter has been the perfect supporting partner here to Daisy Jean, staying in so she can really operate and work through the gears as Baker comes in. And it's worked. It will be cut off on the boundary rope. I thought it was going to cut between those 2 fielders on the leg side. They scamper through for a single, bringing Porter back on strike. 1 ball to come. Baker comes in for the last of the over to Porter. And it's worked straight to Norling Davies, but they will scamper through for a single, ending a rather good spell for Liv Baker. 1 for 27 from her 4 overs. Glamorgan 157 for 5.
Yeah, Porter going along nicely, 18 off 17. Stealing the strike, but she's hitting 4s as well, so that's the good news. So it looks like Darlow, captain Adriana Darlow, is bringing herself back into the attack, but a change of end for her. So from the river tough end, so spin from that end, and she's going to come through the umpire and around the wicket with Porter on strike. So field is out. Just having a look. The blue against blue seats can be quite hard. 3 on the leg side and 1 outside, and it's into the cover area, but a single taken off the first ball to bring Daisy Jeans on strike.
She does tend to bring herself on for the pressure over Darlow at the death, and it's great to see such a young captain taking responsibility of the game at a crucial stage.
Yep, so they brought up deep backward square into the ring, and that's drilled nicely. God, she's got hold of that. Oh, well picked up. That's spinning away. Great running as well, scampering 2 brilliant runs there.
And it brings up the 50 partnership between Jeans and Porter, much needed after quite a rapid loss of 4 wickets.
And Jeans' second 50 partnership of the game, so she's been here since the start.
Tells you a lot about how she's operating.
Yeah, and Glamorgan will want to be here at the end, I'm sure. But Jeans is trying to get as many runs as possible in these last remaining balls. So 9 balls to come in this innings. She's worked that just in front of square. And again, they're scampering 2 and easily taken again. She gets a bit of a ricochet. There's Jeans, but nothing to hurt.
The crowd at Sapphire Garden really getting behind these quickly run 2s in these closing stages, knowing that any runs are crucial.
Yeah, I think Jeans is hoping for a boundary. She's been out there, like I say, for over 18 overs, 83 off 51. Hot day with all the kit on as well.
She deserves a lie down.
She's absolutely launched that. There is a fielder there, but it's again slight misfield, but just the single this time.
Very intentional single, as I think Jeans is definitely feeling that heat. I certainly would be if I'd been out there for as long as she has.
Last ball of Darlow's over. Porter, who flat backs it down the ground, but a single, which means Jeans is on strike for the last over of the innings. So Glamorgan, 164 for 5. Jeans, 84 off 52, and Porter, 20 off 19. Run rate still up there at the 8.63 with the last over remaining. So hopefully only 6 balls for Derbyshire. But Glamorgan will be looking to score as many as possible from this over. Scampering singles and twos where they can, but probably hoping for a few boundaries. So Noling Davies is going to bowl the last over from the River Taff end as she comes into bowl. Bit more pace on the ball, and that's lofted back over the bowler's head for just for a single.
Brings Daisy Jeans on strike. Noling Davies searching for her first wicket of the game. What a matchup in these closing stages. Right arm pace to the right-handed Jeans. 84 not out from 52 currently. Noling Davies comes in. And they will come through for a single.
No, she's definitely taken 2. Well run.
Gemma Porter was not taking no for an answer there. She turned around for the second before Jeans had even realised it was happening. Tired legs, yeah. I think, from Daisy Jeans.
I think Jeans' brain's going, please hit a 4, please hit a 4.
Noling Davies coming in again. And it's absolutely hammered, but and it's fallen to Lonsdale on the leg side. Well taken from Derbyshire. A much needed wicket to prevent these very dangerous closing balls from Daisy Jeans. And it finishes an outstanding knock from Jeans. 86 for her from 53 balls. The real anchor of this innings.
Yeah, that's a fantastic innings from Daisy Jeans. She will take the applause as she walks off the ground. Didn't quite carry her bat through. But yeah, hear the crowd, wave of the bat. Absolutely fantastic innings from Daisy Jeans. Which brings the wicketkeeper Georgia Parfitt to the crease for 3 balls.
It was a phenomenal knock from Jeans. She really anchored an innings where everyone else was almost falling around her, apart from Ellis and Porter. Made 50 partnerships with both of them. Played 360 degrees around the ground. Outstanding. As Parfitt will be hoping to add to her efforts with the final 3 balls of this game. Georgia Parfitt, I should say, otherwise it's quite confusing, the 2 sisters.
So 3 balls. What can Georgia Parfitt do here? Oh, it's out first ball. Caught in the cover area. Out first ball. But not a lot you can do about that. Georgia was just trying to get as many runs as they can on the board. So it is a duck for Georgia Parfitt as she heads off. Probably to quickly whip the wicket-keeping pads on to be back out here in a few balls' time.
Noling Davies is on a hat-trick here, having not taken a wicket before this over. We spoke about how Glamorgan know her antics. She took a 5-for against them when the 2 sides met in the one-day cup. And Charlotte Lambert will be hoping to avoid giving her the joy of a hat-trick in this one.
So 2 balls remaining. Hat-trick ball. There's definitely an opportunity here for Noling because Lambert can't block it. 20 overs, you've got to try and get as many runs as possible. So she does have to go for it in this shot. So there is an opportunity here for Noling to get that hat-trick. But Lambert hoping it will just be a single. Oh, it's a stumping! And she's given! It's been given. She stumped her. It's a hat-trick for Noling Davies. She takes all the high fives, high tens, the hugs. Brilliant bit of work behind the stumps as well from Atherton Gator. But obviously Lambert was just looking to launch the ball wherever she could. So that is a hat-trick for Noling Davies. Well bowled indeed.
Absolutely outstanding from Noling. Davies kept it wide, hoping Lambert would come down and chase after it. She did. Afton Gator whipping off the bails. Our first hat-trick of the 2026 Tier 2 Vitality Blast, and also Tier 1, our first women's blast hat-trick of the year.
Awesome. And that was intelligent bowling, just drifting it out wide, knowing exactly what she was looking to do. And Atherton Gator, brilliant behind the stumps. So good communication from those two. Brings Katie Cobb to the crease. One ball. Could it be another wicket? Could it be a run?
Can you imagine
Excited
4
to find
from
out.
4? Honestly, you're hoping for a wicket all game and then they all come at once right at the end.
Yep.
It will be Noling Davies coming into Katie Cobb, the tall right-hander.
Oof. Swing and a miss. Brings the end of the over and the end of the innings for Glamorgan, who end on 167 for 8 off their 20 overs. A brilliant sort of comeback, really, from Derbyshire Falcons, bringing that score back down. It was looking like it was hitting the 180s. You know, they're going at 10 and over, potentially could be in the 200s. But Derbyshire did well to claw back, and great finishing figures there for Noling Davies for 3 for 25. And some great performances as well from Glamorgan. So it brings about an innings break, and we will be back with you shortly, where Derbyshire will look to come out and tackle this total. So in terms of how they did yesterday, there were certainly some good performances from Derbyshire, so they'll be feeling fairly confident that they might be able to chase this down. Just looking at the score sheet here, so Jeans from the start, going in the last but one over, so 86 off her 54 balls. Brilliant batting. Parfitt started off strong, hitting plenty of fours, but succumbed a bit too soon, and then Ellis supporting Jeans with 24, and they brought up a 50 partnership, and then there was a collapse, wasn't there, of Gammon, Jackson and Wheeler going very quickly, and then Porter came out and supported Jeans as well towards the end, and again another 50 partnership. So 2 50 partnerships in one game, and then again, as expected, as you would at the end of a 20 over game, a few quick wickets falling as well. And then looking at the bowling,
It was 3 wickets for Noling Davies, all coming from that hat-trick in the final over. 3 for 25 from 3 for her. 2 also for Prisha Bailey, who had a phenomenal game with 2 for 19 from 4. 1 each for Baker, Tanakun and Darlow.
and looking at the match summary, so like we say, Glamorgan 167 for 8. Those are the top scorers on your left-hand side, and the bowling of Derbyshire Falcons on the right.
Daisy Jeans with over half of the runs for Glamorgan. Quite the run out for her.
So if you are in the vicinity, please do come on down to Sophia Gardens. There is lots going on. The innings break. There is the traditional rolling of the Thatcher's cider inflatable apple around the course. And there's the cannons going into the crowd with T-shirts as well. So the sun is still shining. There is an evening game this evening where Glamorgan take on Gloucestershire at 7 o'clock, which is live on Sky Sports. So please do join us as we take an innings break, and we'll be back with you soon. So welcome back. A very quick turnaround here between innings as the umpires are making their way back out to the middle. And then Lauren Parfitt leading out her Glamorgan team to defend the total that they set here today of 167 for 8 off their 20 overs. And Derbyshire opening pair of Jess Cusa and Tash Allen making their way out to the middle as well. So impressive first innings from Glamorgan, Rosa.
It was a very impressive first innings from Glamorgan. Daisy Jeans really led the charge with 86 from 54, supported by Bethan Ellis with 24 and Gemma Porter from 21. She formed 50 strong partnerships with both of them. But it was pulled back a bit from Derbyshire. I mean, Glamorgan were 102 for 2 from 9.5 overs and only added 64 more. So they'll be hoping that they can defend it, and Derbyshire, off the back of their first victory of the season yesterday, will be hoping to chase it down.
Yeah, and in terms of the opening power play from Glamorgan, they were going at 10 and over, and the run rate required by Derbyshire is 8.4. As Lambert, opening bowler from the River Taff end, with Cusa on strike. So Charlotte Rambert on loan from Surrey this season. Just waiting for the umpires to say all go. We do have a slip in place, first slip in place for the game today. Everybody else in the ring for Glamorgan other than deep backward square. So a very attacking field being set by the captain Lauren Parfitt here today. Umpire signalling to the scorers. And everyone else, and just waving to the crowd. So still waiting. Not sure what we're waiting for.Maybe we're waiting for 4:38 exact on time. We've got out. Oh,
we're a minute early.
Yeah. So
Charlotte Lambert waiting.
Yeah, Cusa goes back to her crease and is ready as Charlotte Lambert comes in.
The England under-19 international being forced to wait at the top of her mark. We're still not at 4:40. I think we're waiting for the official restart time to come around. As Kirsty Blackham lets Lambert through.
And we're off. So Lambert coming in. Digs it in short. And that's pulled away. First ball down to backward square. And it's probably a 4. But I think she was touching the boundary rope. The crowd shouting 4.
I think she may have got away with one there.
But I think in terms of, is a fielder, you just dive, you don't really know a lot about it. And in this game, we've obviously only got the one in front camera, so not to be reviewed. But 2 runs taken, but probably should have been 4 off the first ball, but a little wayward there from Lambert. She comes in for a second ball. And that's worked nicely through backward point for a single. So 3 already to Derbyshire, which brings Allen on strike. So she takes her guard. So she's taking what looks like a leg stump guard to start with, just to, maybe she's taking 2. No, definitely leg stump.
Just having a negotiation with the umpire as to where that is.
Yeah. People often take that guard and then step in as the bowler comes into bowl, so that's just their line mark, and then they adjust into the 2 or middle stump guard when the bowlers come in. So Lambert coming into bowl again. Oh gosh, worked a leg, and the Katie Cobb in the inner ring. Not sure whether that was a drop or whether that just dropped short of her, but it felt like it carried. Just watched the replay, so it's worked on the leg side. Oh, I think that could have been a chance. Difficult with those, you're not sighted on them, but potentially a chance, an early opportunity there for Glamorgan to take a wicket.
She's almost found herself stood too far back and is having to come in to make up for it.
again, that's just whipped off the legs. And again, it's 4 runs. So wayward, really, from Lambert to start with. Good pace, but not finding her line in length early on. So 8 from 4 balls already for Derbyshire. So they'll be pleased with this opening start in terms of that run rate that they need to make sure doesn't run away from them too soon in this power play.
It's an electric start from Kusa, the Falcons' 2025 top run scorer. She also scored 37 in their win last night, so she's on quite some form.
So a few fielding adjustments for Glamorgan. So Parfitt just making sure, Georgia Parfitt that is, people are in the right place. As Lambert comes in, pitch short, chipped up over, but into the gap in front of square. They've taken 2, and they will make 2 comfortably. So this is a great start from Derbyshire. 10 already from the over, 1 ball to come. So not the start Lambert or Glamorgan were hoping for.
Deja vu from the first over of Glamorgan's innings when they started with a similar level of control and power.
Kusa on strike, 9 from 4. Dug in short, worked in front of the square, and that's going to race away for 4. And it does. Absolutely brilliant opening over here from Derbyshire. 14 off the first over. So Kusa absolutely taking on the challenge, just working that nicely in front of square off the front pad. No chance for the fielder out there to stop that one. So probably a bit of a shock for Glamorgan, the first over going for 14.
It will indeed be. And one loanee coming out of the attack brings another into the attack. Amy Wheeler coming into the fold at the Cathedral Road end for Glamorgan. Some real raw pace should be expected from Wheeler. She's an Ace Academy graduate.
Yep.
The first women's Ace Academy graduate, as she's trying to work her way back to the top level after a bit of a nasty run with an injury.
Yeah, I haven't seen her bowl before, but watched her in the warm-up, and like I say, good raw pace. So Allen on strike. She's only faced 1 ball so far, with Kusa taking the main strike of the first over. And she's pulled it, and it's chipped over, just makes it over the inner ring. So it's chased down by Daisy Jeans. 2 taken.
Daisy Jeans, who is owed a lie down, if you ask me, already in action in the field in this second innings. She pretty much batted for nearly 20 overs in the first innings, so she was kept very busy as Wheeler prepares to come in again to Allen.
Unfortunately, full toss and wide, but managed to get toe under the bat on it down to deep third. But 2 runs. So a bit loose there from Wheeler.
She'll be hoping to tighten up here. Not played much cricket this year. Didn't play any games really last year apart from a handful for Worcestershire. Kusa takes in her surroundings. Wheeler coming in. And it's worked nicely into the just outside of the inner ring as they come through for a single. Wheeler in again to the right-handed Allen. And it's way with that one. It's gone wide down the offside.
I mean, there's certainly no need to panic from Glamorgan's point of view at all, but 19 off 1.3 overs for Derbyshire. They'd be very pleased with this.
Building some early pressure on the Glamorgan bowling attack.
I think Glamorgan would certainly want it the other way round to try and, like I say, that run rate of nearly 8 from the start, but at the moment the bowling just isn't... Oh! Right, eat my words. I'm literally about to eat my words.
Clean bowled from Wheeler, a lovely line of length. It keeps so straight, and it goes straight through the defences of Allen to get Glamorgan's first wicket of the game, 19 for 1.
Glamorgan supporters, you are all welcome. I think that was the absolute... Yeah, trying to pull it off middle stump and just done by the pace, or maybe a slightly slower ball actually in the end.
Absolutely shatters those stumps.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that was the shot to play to that ball. But like you say, brings up the first wicket for Glamorgan. So 19 for 1 for Derbyshire Falcons. And that brings out to the crease Fran Lonsdale.
You miss, Amy Wheeler hits, I think is going to be the mantra for Glamorgan this season when she represents them. Glamorgan are very much a team who like defending totals. I think Lauren Parfitt likes to send a team out to bat first.
Yeah, set the score, then you know what you're dealing with. But yeah, that would ease the nerves a little bit, I'm sure, for the Glamorgan camp. As Wheeler comes into bowl. 2 balls left in this over. Again, a bit of shape going away there.
Lonsdale letting that one through, getting a judgment of the pace on display from Wheeler, and we can tell you she is quick. Lonsdale coming in off 31 yesterday against Sussex. A Yorkshire Academy product. She prepares to face her second of the game, hoping to get off the mark. Wheeler in. She's tried to work it through the offside, but it's kept low from Wheeler, and it's a second dot ball to end the over. Just 5 from it. Falcons 19 for 1.
Crowd building. We're up over 800 in the stands now. Sun is still shining. And there's definitely pockets of this ground that gets the sun all of the evening as well. So, like I say, Glamorgan men take on Gloucestershire at 7 o'clock this evening, live on Sky Sports. So the Sky Pod is up and running and in place. So I think we're seeing a change of bowling. So Porter, bringing spin into the attack quite early from Lauren Parfitt.
Trying something different after an expensive first over for Charlotte Lambert.
Yeah. Traditionally, as she bowls around the wicket. Dot to start. Just taking some of the pace off as well. I think it's quite common in T20 to start from spin at one end.
It's a growing trend throughout the women's game, and it's one that has risen quite dramatically in recent years, I think, as the quality of spin bowling has improved.
Just worked front of the pad down to log on for a single.
Gemma Porter has proven quite the addition for Glamorgan. She came last season after spending a lot of time at Warwickshire's academy, and has really settled in. She works at the club.
So it brings Lonsdale on strike to face spin. Only 2 balls faced so far. That's well bowled, just worked into the backward point area. Dot ball. So nice and tight from Porter. That run rate that was up at 12 is now down to, as in terms of Derbyshire, we're hitting 12, is down to 7.5. I know we only are 2.4 overs in. So that's pulled away just behind backward square, misfield. I think this was something you observed yesterday, wasn't it, Rosa, that some of the fielding wasn't quite as good as it could have been from both sides.
I don't know if it's the change of format and it's suddenly a lot more fast-paced T20 cricket. Players are deliberately putting more behind the ball, but there were quite a few dropped opportunities from Gloucester and Glamorgan.
And that's a catch down to the captain, and she's taken it. Rolls onto her back, but it's a great catch. So that was drilled by Lonsdale, but not enough to go over the inner ring. And Lauren Parfitt takes a cap at her traditional spot of mid. Yeah, just doing the replay in terms of just didn't get it up and over, and she suddenly dipped on it, but well taken in the end by Lauren Parfitt.
Some gymnastics and theatrics from Lauren Parfitt there. I think getting a little bit of stick from her teammates about the nature of the catch, but they shouldn't be complaining. A much needed wicket, Falcons 22 for 2.
Yeah, she might not want to watch that replay too many times, but a catch is a catch. That's what it says in the book.
It was close to it being a full backwards roll. It's very impressive. I'd give it a 10 if I was an Olympic gymnastics judge, let's put it that way.
So another wicket for Glamorgan, and Lonsdale unfortunately goes cheaply, and that brings Kenvin to the crease.
Another batter coming in off the back of runs. You can tell they had a positive performance yesterday. 25 not out for her yesterday, although coming in much sooner in this one. Was very much the closing operator and is now having to build from the front. As Wheeler comes back into the attack from the Cathedral Road end. A wicket and 5 runs from her first. She comes in to Kusa. And it's worked through the leg side for a single.
Good running in from the deep there to just keep that to 1.
There were murmurs of a 2 between the Derbyshire batters, but I think there was quite a quick understanding that you don't take on the arm of Gemma Porter.
No.
Wheeler coming into Kenvin to face her first of the game. Oh, and it's kept straight, and she's done well to get behind that, just nudging it into the inner ring for a dot. Some real bite from this bowling. So Wheeler makes the way back to the top of her mark, retrieves the ball from her skipper, Lauren Parfitt, who's fielding at cover as she comes into Kenvin. As Kenvin works it to Bethengammon in the cover region for another dot ball. Quite the opening spell from Amy Wheeler, just 6 runs from 9 balls and the wicket. Right arm to right arm as Wheeler comes into Kenvin. And it's gone wayward down the leg side. Georgia Parfitt did do well to get a glove on it, but it looks like it's going to run away for 4 wide, and it does. Some helpful runs added to the total for the Falcons. 28 for 2 the score. Wheeler in once more. And she's tried to work it off the legs there, Kenvin. Has a direct hit! And it's given! That's an outstanding piece of fielding from Glamorgan. A bit of poor communication between the Derbyshire batters left Kenvin Kusa stranded. The dangerous Kusa on 16.
I mean, coming off a bowler, she was quick to react, and she just threw down the stumps, almost took Georgia Parfitt out on the way. Her bat, she dropped in the end. It stuck in the ground, so it didn't even slide. And that's a great bit of bowling and then fielding. So just watching that again, see how she quickly gets across. Mike takes her mark. Great throw down, and what a celebration as well.
It's a beautiful bit of work off her own fielding. That certainly deserves the celebration. Derbyshire in a bit of early trouble after starting so well, 28 for 3.
Yeah, brings Tennakoon to the crease. They're just deciding who goes at which end. And it does. Tennakoon is on strike due to the run out. But yeah, I think Georgia Parfitt slightly feared for her life there. She almost got caught in the crossfire.
It came hammering in at her, didn't it?
It took out all 3 stumps. But yeah, brilliant bit of bowling and then fielding from Wheeler, who still has 2 balls left in this over. So Tennakoon new to the crease, feeling Wheeler's pretty pumped as she comes in. That's a well bowled. A quick single taken.
She's a fiery personality, is Amy Wheeler, and it's boded her really well, and it's one of the reasons she's been able to work her way up the ranks through Ace, through the Blaze. And what a performance for her. She's not played much cricket in recent times due to injury, and you wouldn't know it.
Yep, great start so far. Oh, that's a well bowled as well, playing a miss. Brings the end of the over. So, Derbyshire Falcons, 29 for 3 off 4 overs, still within the power play. Run rate required is 8.6, and they're currently going at 7.2 with a target of 168 here at Sophia Gardens.
That one was almost teasing the edge of her bat.
Porter continuing from the River Taff end. And Tennakoon on strike.
I mean, Glamorgan's bowling attack has been a real highlight of their season so far. As we say, they're currently 8 from 8 across all 3 competitions. Yet to lose.
As Porter comes into ball, that's just worked off the legs by Tennakoon. Out to the deep for a single. So 2 very new people at the crease in Kenvin and Tennakoon. They're looking to rebuild the innings for Derbyshire Falcons here. There's a lot of work to do going forward. Plenty of overs, plenty of opportunities. That's swept away, but didn't get hold of it very much. It's a deep mid wicket, but that is fielded in for a single. Again, well bowled. So no sweeper out on the... Only one sweeper out on the leg side and deep mid on. But everybody else in the ring, as far as I can tell. Quite short, but as far as I can tell. Pitched in a bit shorter, but drilled down the ground to deep mid. Or long on.
Accidentally broken the stumps in the process of retrieving that ball back. I think Porter was expecting it to come down at her feet, and it's given the standing umpire an extra task.
As Porter comes in, again a bit quicker, a bit wider, but it was a dot ball. Last ball of this over. And goes for a reverse, and she's bowled her. I'm not sure what that shot was from Kenvin, but she stepped across the stumps to try and play a reverse and played all round it. And it was just a straight ball really from Porter, which took the wicket. So that is 4 wickets down for Derbyshire now. Glamorgan very much on the up. Let's just watch the replay. She comes right across the stumps. Yeah, and just, it's a straight ball, clean bowled.
Kenvin perhaps feeling a build of pressure, just 1 off the 6 before that delivery, trying something different. It certainly wasn't the ball for that shot. It's clean bowled her. She has to depart for 1 from 7.
Yeah, that's again, you won't want to see that on the replay. But great bowling from Porter, which brought the wicket brought the end of her over. So Derbyshire, like I say, 32 for 4 off 5, still within the power play. To very new batters at the crease, and that run rate creeping up now to 9. So Atherton, the wicketkeeper Atherton Gator, coming out to the wicket. So her and Tennakoon probably much to talk about. See how they can try and rebuild this innings for Derbyshire from here on.
Perhaps hoping to build on her outstanding wicket-keeping performance in that first innings, Atherton Gator, but it will be Tennakoon to take strike for the first ball of Amy Wheeler's third over. She comes in, and it's wayward down the leg side for a wide retrieved by Georgia Parfitt. Not the start she would have been after.
Now you want to keep the pressure on. I know Tennakoon's faced 4 balls, but this early batters at the crease, worried about the run rate already. You want to make sure they're trying to play every single ball. So Wheeler needs to get tighter here, make sure that they have to play it.
As she comes in against Tennakoon, and it's just left as it goes straight through to Parfitt, and we've seen how dangerous she is when she has that accuracy, keeping that line and length tight. Her last over was an eventful one. It brought that run out of her own bowling, charging it and nearly wiping out Georgia Parfitt. Georgia Parfitt will be hoping for that not to happen again as Wheeler comes into Tennakoon. And it's split the 2 fielders in the cover region and run away for a much needed 4. A lovely drive from Tennakoon, taking the Falcons to 37 for 4.
Yeah, any width on offer. She absolutely threw the bat at that. Great shot. 4 all day long. Lovely shot from Tennakoon.
A genuine all-rounder, Tennakoon, I think it's safe to say, for Derbyshire.
So Lauren just adjusting the field. Still within the power play from fielding restrictions. Dug it short. What? That's a good short ball there from Wheeler. She saw Tennakoon advancing, pitched that right in. Good bit of pace, good bit of height as it crossed the bat. She saw it coming. Dug, yeah, nicely bowled. Almost got a feather on that.
It was teasing Tennakoon's edge of her bat. Wheeler comes in again, and it's driven again, and it's split the fielders at point and cover, and it's run away for another 4. Tennakoon showing some real promise here for the Falcons. Her second boundary of the over, 41 for 4.
Yeah, any width. She's quick hands. That's throwing the wrist through it. Quick hands and strong through that area as well. So it's 2 fantastic shots from Tennakoon.
Tennakoon, who is in the England under-19 remit, per se, as Wheeler comes in. And it's straight to her, and it's kept low. That one missed the bat of Tennakoon, going straight through to Parfitt. A much-needed dot. It's been a bit of a bizarre over, this, from Wheeler. It's had everything. We've had bounces. She comes in for the last ball of her over. And it's kept lolling straight and low again. Full delivery, that from Wheeler. A lovely way to end the over. Falcons are 41 for 4 from 6, the conclusion of the power play. 4 fielders are now allowed outside the inner ring. That's right, 4, not 5. Up from 2 during the first 6 overs. We're looking at the worm. I always love that it's called a worm. That used to really amuse me when I was younger. And it shows that Derbyshire are currently falling quite far below that required rate. The DLS par is 71. It's definitely not going to rain though. It's going to be Katie Cobb to come on at the River Taff end. The 2025 Glamorgan Women's Academy Player of the Season by stepping up to the senior side. So coming over the wicket as a left arm. Sorry, yeah, over the wicket. Oh! She's clean bowled her first ball. What a start for Katie Cobb. We're only just getting our bearings, and there she has her first wicket. Atherton Gator just couldn't get anything on it.
I thought Georgia just took that. That looked like Georgia just took it, but it obviously, she caught it as it took the bail off. Fractions, we'll just watch this replay. Yeah. Great take by Georgia as well off the... but yeah, just, good movement as well, and good arch from Katie Cobb there.
It's really turned back in that for Katie Cobb. A rather tall, intimidating spin bowler, and she does tend to get some real movement off the surface coming in from such a height.
Yeah. And just good drift as well. Had a good bit of drift off that. Comes at a real angle with that left arm.
I was almost surprised that it was out. She kind of didn't quite realise, and then suddenly Georgia Parfitt was celebrating.
Yeah.
It has brought Prisha Beatty to the crease to join Tennakoon. She was the star of Derbyshire's bowlers in the first innings, bar that hat-trick from Noeling Davies. And it's been given as a wide. It's glanced down the has it been? Yes, it has. It's glanced down the leg side. They've also scampered through for a single, adding 2 to the total, 43 for 5.
Oh, that's another wicket. Katie Cobb is on fire here today. They don't know how to play her. It's absolutely brilliant bowling. Just like you say, that left arm, that height that she uses. And just the angles, just watching the replay here. Again, just, the movement off that as well.
It's almost outrageous that from Katie Cobb, the amount it's come in, not just in the air, but then it's jagged back in off the surface.
That is a fantastic ball.
She didn't have a chance.
She bowls quite wide of the crease, but again uses that height and that angle, so gets the drift and then the movement off the ball, coming from outside and taking middle stump. Absolutely brilliant bowling. Well, she'll be gutted about that wide in between the 2 wickets, but I think she'll be delighted for 2 wickets in her opening spell. So, Noeling Davies is in at the crease earlier than she was expecting as Cobb comes into bowl. Again, just drifted in quite short. So Derbyshire suddenly struggling on 43 for 6 off 6.3 overs. But Katie Cobb having a brilliant opening over. She comes in again. Still 3 balls remaining. Anything can happen. Bit drifted wide. That is will be given as a wide.
It's almost deja vu. It's what happened after she took the last wicket
if there's a
as
wicket
well.
now, that's it. I'm buying a lottery ticket. So
Katie Cobb certainly should.
Definitely. She comes in again, just pitched a bit shorter. But it's quite, it's a really unassuming sort of saunter in, bowl. But yeah, brilliant action, brilliant height used. Again, trying to get that elevation to get the ball moving. Single taken off the, one more ball to come because of the extra wide. So quite a busy over. Wicket, wide, wicket, dot, wide, dot, 1. What is she going to end on? Katie Cobb, last ball of this over. Her first over, 2 for 4. And it's well bowled, and it finishes with a dot. End of the over. So, Derbyshire Falcons, 45 for 6 off 7 overs. A lot for them to do from here. But rightly the crowd applauding Katie Cobb from a brilliant opening spell.
Katie Cobb, a student at Cardiff University, keeping it local. Although she, I feel like full disclosure, she's not local. She comes from Belfast.
So Nicole Reid. Absolutely love watching Nicole Reid have a bowl. She gives great flight. Leggy. Not much movement there yet.
And it's worked to the fielder at point. And they scampered through for a single. They were almost in trouble. Nicole Reid with 1 for 13 from the 4 overs yesterday versus Gloucestershire. So coming in on quite some form.
Yeah, it's great bowling. I love that she always gives good flight, and it's a classic trait of any spinner, having been one myself, is as soon as you got hit, I used to try and bowl a quicker ball, which would then also probably get hit. So Nicole Reid is brilliant at just continuing to just flight it right up. So always puts the batters in a couple of minds of what shot to play. Gets a good bit of dip at the end as well.
And it can be a really tough life as a leg spinner, but she keeps it incredibly consistent.
Just really tight, just stump to stump, really tight bowling. That's a good start from Nicole Reid.
Coming in again to Beatty, and it's lofted up, and it will evade Lauren Parfitt in the inner ring. She's chasing after it. She will just cut it off. Picked up by Wheeler. Great teamwork from Glamorgan as they scamper through for 2.
Yeah, great work by Lauren. Parfitt there chasing that one down. Thought she was in with a chance to start with, but just plugged slightly.
She did a very good job of cutting that off, Parfitt.
Yeah, did that one well.
Wheeler in action again. She throws it in. They scamper through for a quick 2.
That's a good arm, that is, from Wheeler. Blimey.
Power behind her bowling and behind her fielding.
It was almost like possibility of a second run out of it had hit. She absolutely launched that.
As you may be able to hear, the sirens of a second scatter blast. You know you want to get down here and potentially get your hands on a free t-shirt. Do come and join us. Plenty of cricket still to be played today as Glamorgan men take on Gloucestershire this evening, starting at 7.
Tell you what, if that was a direct hit, she might have been struggling there, but wasn't. No surprises. Cobb continuing to bowl from the River Tough end. 2 for 4 off her first over. Again, it's that left arm.
It would almost be outrageous to bring her off, wouldn't it?
Why would you? Yeah, great opening spout. Slightly shorter, just worked through. Backward point will race away, is quite quick down that part of the ground. So it is 4 runs, much needed 4 runs for Betty.
A much needed 4 runs, but it's looking like an increasingly difficult task here for the Falcons. They need 113 to win off 11.4 overs, currently 54 for 6.
Well bowled. Again, just those angles that Katie Cobb can get. Just drifting across the batter there, but a swing and a miss, but no run. Quick single taken. I wouldn't be taking a quick single to Walker, to be honest with you, but unfortunately a slight little misfield enabled them to get home safely. Brings up the last ball for Katie Cobb. Kind of a bit of a cross-bat shot down the ground for a single. So Derbyshire move on to 57 for 6 off 9 overs. Noling Davies on 7 off 8 and Betty 6 off 8. So starting to build with this pair, but probably too much to do, but they are still in it.
I mean, Cobb is remarkably tall for a spinner. I think she's probably the tallest Glamorgan player on display today. As the dragon of Glamorgan is having a little wander through the stands. When at the blast.
So So Nicole Reid continuing.
Full toss, that one. It really kept high, looping through the air. They come through for a single.
I think Beth Gavin would expect to stop that, but I certainly think she stopped it being a 4 if she hadn't managed to slow that one down. It was going at quite a pace.
Reading again. Gammon does get to that one. We're preventing the run.
Fantastic inner ring fielder is Beth Gammon. If you're watching on how to do that, she is certainly someone to keep an eye on in terms of keeping busy in the field, anticipating, being quick. So a good model for any young cricketer.
She's an impeccable model for any young cricketer. Always likes to be busy, does Beth Gammon, as Nicole Reid comes in again. Less flight on that one, as it's worked to point. Another dot ball. I feel like a bit of a nerd watching Nicole Reid bowl because it's just so phenomenal. There's a slight on that one again. It's worked around the legs, but it will be retrieved by the fielder on the boundary. Coming in through for a single, 60 for 6. You've just got to appreciate the art of good spin bowling.
Yeah. Last ball of this over.
It's worked upwards by Beatty, but it doesn't fall to anyone in the inner ring. It's Amy Wheeler coming in to retrieve it. A bit of a wayward throw, but there is Beth Gammon. Who else would you want backing it up to conclude the over? 10 overs in. Derbyshire 61 for 6. They need 107 to win off the remaining 10. It's looking steep, but Glamorgan have been phenomenal in these first 10 overs.
Yeah, I think we're going to be certainly looking to get another quick wicket. So change of bowling. So Jackson coming into the attack at the River Taff end. So bringing pace back in.
Maybe trying to uproot the comfort of these two batters having really set themselves to spin at both ends. Jackson did take 2 wickets yesterday. She was slightly expensive, conceded 35 runs from her 4 overs versus Gloucestershire.
So here comes Jackson, River Taff end. It's a good starting ball, nice and straight, fielded brilliantly by the one and only Beth Gammon. Just commanding that entire area there in the covers. That's all hers, and she will sweep that brilliantly.
You almost want 9 of her, don't you?
Again, well bowled. Single down the ground. 2 long off. So in terms of the fielders out, now we're out of the power play. 4 out, so we've got 1 either side sweeping, and deep long on and deep long off. Jackson comes in. That's flat batted down to long on.
Remarkable control here in the early stages from Jackson. Still only 18 years old. Already played quite a key role for Glamorgan this season. Didn't get too many opportunities last year. Did take a wicket though in this tournament.
It's lofted up over, not going to carry, just plugs in front of the ring as long on comes in. Yeah, good pace as well. She'll only get quicker. So she's showing good pace, good height, good action as well.
I mean, as Glamorgan prep to go into Tier 1 cricket, young talent like Jackson is exactly who you want to be coming through.
Steps across her crease, lofted, but diving stop. Great bit of fielding out in the deep. Great teamwork to retrieve as well. Crowd liking that one.
It was a phenomenal diving stop on the boundary rope.
Yeah, great bit of fielding as Jackson comes in.
I think it's Charlotte Lambert out there.
Brings the end of the over. So Derbyshire 66 for 6 off 11, requiring 102 from from 54 balls with only 4 wickets in hand. So Derbyshire will be looking to keep Glamorgan out here for those 54 balls. And Glamorgan, unsurprisingly, will be trying to do the opposite.
They really will. And I reckon Nicole Reid might help them do just that as she continues at the Cathedral Road end. 10 from her 2 overs so far. No wicket just yet. She comes into the right-handed Beatty. And it's just worked to point for a dot. Coming in again. And it's flighted and it's been worked through the leg side, but it will be picked up by Porter for a single. There's not a moment where Reid doesn't look to be in control as she comes in to Noeling Davies. And it's been hit straight to Parfitt, who has a little chuckle at the ball before fielding it back into Reid.
Let's pierce the gap though. It's a beautiful drive down the ground. Beth Gammon couldn't do anything about that, nor could Lauren Parfitt, so a good 4. And the thing is with Nicole Reid is she's always on the money, so you'll see here that the batter had to move their feet to make something of that. So Noeling Davies know that she's just on a nagging length all the time. So as a batter, you have to then try and think how you're going to outsmart Nicole Reid and move your feet more to create those opportunities, because she's just very up and down and on the money each time. And that's up in the air, and it's to Beth Gammon, and that is a great catch. Diving Beth Gammon takes a fantastic catch to bring Nicole Reid's first well-deserved wicket of the game. So yeah, unfortunately Noeling Davies was looking to go over the top, didn't get hold of it. And Beth Gammon quick across the ground to take almost slightly Superman-esque dive.
Trademark Beth and Gammon, I'd even say.
Yeah.
Diving to her right, 2 hands behind it. There wasn't a moment where she didn't look in control of that one. Her captain and Nicole Reid embracing her. A really well-deserved wicket by Nicole Reid, who's been phenomenal. Falcons are 71 for 7.
Much needed for Glamorgan, a bit of a breakthrough for them. So it brings Baker to the crease, so not much left for Derbyshire, unfortunately. So Olivia Baker coming in at number 8.
Baker came through the Blaze Academy, keeping it local now with a move to Derbyshire. Definitely heading into the tail of this Derbyshire lineup.
So last ball of this over from Nicole Reid. They've taken a quick single. Oh, they're thinking about it. Rightly sent back. And that's the end of that over. So Derbyshire 71 for 7 off 12 overs.
She was almost in trouble there, Beatty, at the non-strikers end. It was Daisy Jeans throwing the ball back in. A direct hit, she could have been in trouble.
Yeah, she certainly was up for the quick single, just hadn't informed Baker about it. So, Jackson coming into bowl. Continuing from the River Taff end to Betty, who's 11 from 16, has been at the crease a while now. Much needed for Derbyshire as Jackson comes in. That's drilled down the ground nicely. They're looking for 2, but definitely not 2 on offer from the very strong arm of Walker. So single off the first one. Sorry, Wheeler, not Walker. Baker takes her guards as Jackson comes into bowl. Worked off the hips, but someone at backward square. So Daisy Jeans, sorry, not Daisy Jeans. Gemma Porter at backward square.
energy that Beth and Gammon brings on the cricket field is just infectious, isn't it?
The ball comes in, hit slightly across the stumps, but single down to long on.
It's almost this eagerness to constantly find herself involved, really bigging up her teammates, keeping the positive energy going on. She's probably exactly the kind of player that Rachel Priest is delighted to have involved in her team.
Absolutely. It's like always expecting the ball to come to her, always ready. It's nicely angled through point. Slight misfield there from Nicole Reid. So quick single taken. Jackson comes in. It's nicely played, but no run. So Glamorgan getting through the overs quite quickly. Last ball of this over now from Jackson. Pitched in a bit shorter, pulled away just in front of square. From Baker, single taken, brings the end of the over. And moves Derbyshire on to 75 for 7 off 13. So a whopping 93 needed off 42 balls, but only 3 wickets in hand.
They have a chat in the middle. I mean, apart from anything else here, they will know that they're unlikely to chase this down, but it's about damage limitation with that net run rate. In the table, it's a quick tournament. Any loss is felt. If you want to be getting near that finals day and it's only top 3 qualifying, you need to keep that net run rate up and get as close to chasing down totals as Nicole Reid continues at the Cathedral Road end for her final over. It's just teased the edge of Baker's bat going straight through to Georgia Parfitt behind the stumps. Reid in again. And it's worked straight to Daisy Jeans even, for a much deserved wicket for Nicole Reid. She's been phenomenal all afternoon. Baker has to depart for 2. Falcons are 75 for 8.
Yeah, a great take there from Daisy Jeans. She's been in this game, diving just to her side and slightly forward, but simple to catch in the end. And yet Nicole gets her second wicket, well deserved. So 8 down for Derbyshire. Glamorgan going to be looking to quite quickly get through this tail.
I mean, when we talk about net run rate, that also very much applies to Glamorgan. After their first game, they had a ridiculous net run rate of plus 3.25. So if you can keep that up, you're putting yourself in a really strong position. Obviously, they'll be hoping to top the group, not have to go down to it, but you never know in cricket. T20 Blast is a quick tournament and there can be upsets.
So that brings Francesca Clark to the crease. So Nicole Reid has 4 chances here, 4 opportunities to get another wicket for Clark.
Clark gets ready in her stance. Reid coming in, and it's worked straight back to her for a dot.
Nice shot.
It was quite a lovely drive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
First ball up,
Solid
for Clark, coming in quite far down the order as well, as that keeps high. It's lofted high and straight to Beth and Gammon. Another dot ball. They're building as Reid comes in to Clark. Beth and Gammon involved once again. She can't stay out of the game, can she? Another dot ball. 1 to come. None from the over so far. It's a stunning last delivery from Nicole Reid, marking a wicket maiden to finish her spout. 2 for 15 from 4 overs. Phenomenal bowling. Falcons are 75 for 8 with 6 overs remaining.
I imagine that's the first wicket maiden of the T20 as well, potentially. We'll have to check others, but yeah, brilliant bowling from Nicole Reid to finish her spell. Katie Cobb, 2 overs remaining. Left arm, 2 wickets already. It's Betty on strike, 13 off 18. Oh, it's, playing a miss. She stayed when others have fallen, has Betty, so...
I mean, you could say, and you could expect, that Katie Cobb could have quite a long career ahead of her if she keeps at this level. I mean, tall left-arm spin bowler, very unusual in women's cricket.
Yeah.
Also can provide runs down the order, could become a rather valuable asset for senior cricket in the future.
Oh, I think it's stumped or bowled. It's definitely out. That's Betty is gone. She was advancing but played in miss, so we just need to check whether it was a stumping by Georgia Parfitt or whether she was actually just clean bowled. So we're just going to watch the replay with you as well as she comes down, and that looks like a stumping to me, so that goes very well for Georgia Parfitt. But, great take, and Betty, and the 9th wicket down for Derbyshire.
And it looks like we won't be having the 11th Derbyshire batter coming out until the middle. The teams are shaking hands, meaning the Falcons finish their innings on 75 for 9. It's a 93-run win for Glamorgan to continue their blast campaign. 2 from 2, 9 from 9 across all tournaments. What a phenomenal performance for Lauren Parfitt's side.
Yeah, and the crowd really appreciating that. So really sad that obviously the last batter for Derbyshire unable to come out due to injury, but a fantastic win and day at the office for Glamorgan, who advance well, 2 from 2 from their last 2 games. And yeah, some great performances and stand-up performances from Glamorgan today in both the batting and the bowling. And as we look to the next set of games, so Sunday the 31st versus Sussex at home. So Glamorgan will be making the journey down to Sussex at Hove for that game, and then on to Northants away on the 5th of June. So an absolutely brilliant victory here today for Glamorgan, where they've capitalised on yesterday's performance versus Gloucestershire, and the crowd just really appreciating their performance here. So just looking at the scores for Glamorgan again, Jean's a fantastic innings of 86 off 54 balls, supported by Ellis from 24. They had a 50 partnership, and Porter and Parfitt on 12. And for Derbyshire, in terms of bowling, Nolan Davis at hat-trick, 3 for 25, and then Betty as well getting 2 for 19. And then unfortunately the Derbyshire Falcons never really got going in their chase of these runs, so the highest score being 16. But Katie Cobb, 3 for 10 from 2.3 overs, Porter 2 for 6 from 2, Nicole Reid 2 for 15, and Wheeler picking up 1 for 21, plus also getting a run out as well.
We should say as well, it was the Derbyshire captain, Adriana Darlow, who couldn't come out to bat, so we do wish her all the best and hope it's not too bad an injury and she can be back involved for them soon.
Yeah, thank you. And in terms of thanks for tuning in today, so if you are still with us, then Glamorgan men take on Gloucestershire at 7 o'clock this evening, live on Sky Sports, and they are setting up and getting ready to go. But a great win here for Glamorgan, for Rachel Priest and her coaching side here today to take into the next set of games going forward. So that is 9 from 9 for Glamorgan. So thanks to Rosa for joining me today. Any last words?
It's just been a phenomenal performance for Glamorgan, building on some rather terrifying form across tournaments as they remain unbeaten in 2026. And it's been great to be alongside you, Kath, for this one.
Fab. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you